Okay, so if we look at these on page 916, on the first one we have copper solid reacting with chlorine gas to make copper 2 chloride. So copper starts off as a 0 because it's an element in its natural state. Chlorine is a 0. Here the copper is a +2 ion and chloride is -1. So copper is going from 0 to a +2. It's oxidized, makes it the reducing agent. Chlorine goes from 0 to a -1. It's reduced. That's the oxidizing agent. Now this next one, if you went through this and spent lots of time, you found out that here sodium was a +1, oxygen was a -2. That gave us a -6 here, +2, so carbon was a +4. Then hydrogen is a +1, oxygen's a -2. Gives us a -8 +1, chlorine's a +7. And over here, oxygen's a -2, carbon's a +4, hydrogen's a +1, oxygen's a -2, sodium's a +1, chlorine's a +7, oxygen's a -2. Did anybody find themselves saying, wait a minute, nothing's changing, and then going back in and checking because you thought you made a mistake? Okay, you didn't make a mistake. Nothing changes. There's no changes in oxidation number. This is not redox chemistry. This is double replacement. We change partners. Sodium hooks up with perchlorate. Hydrogen hooks up with carbonate and makes water and CO2. So double replacement is not redox. That's just rearranging the pieces. And then the last one, did anybody get to this and say, hey, wait a minute, this seems odd? We have oxygen's a -2. 3 times a -2 gives us a -8. So sulfur, we need a -8. I'm sorry, 3 times -2 is -6, not a -8. Has to add up to -2, so we need a +4 here. Divided by 2 is a +2. Iodine's an element in its natural state. Now this is the crazy one. This has to add up to -2. I have oxygen is a -2 times 6 is -12. Has to add to a -2, so I need a +10. 10 divided by 4 gives me a +2.5. Can I have 2.5 as an oxidation number? Sure. Yeah, why not? Because this is an apparent charge. So if you are sharing something, don't you own half of it? So it makes sense that we can have a half because it's not a real charge. We can't really transfer half an electron, but it can appear that we did if we're sharing it. And then iodide is -1. So sulfur goes from 2 to a 2.5. That's an increase. It's oxidized. It's the reducing agent. And iodine goes from 0 to a -1. It's a decrease. It's reduced. It's the oxidizing agent. Okay, we're going to stop here and take a break. And after the break, we'll talk about single replacement or displacement reactions.